Alright, hello, welcome to the Outside Men podcast where we talk all things rugby league. We have a couple of guys here to my left and right. Matt, how are you going?
Good, how you going, Jed?
Yeah, good. Jason?
No, I'm good.
Carl?
Excellent, Jed.
Yep. Did our teams win on the weekend?
Got 2 points.
Negative.
Matt?
Negative.
Yep. I got 2 points as well.
Got 2.
Yeah. And at least it was better than the election.
Well, it depends which team you go for.
You didn't get any points on the election, eh?
That's a can of worms.
We're not political, let's not go down that road.
We don't have a.
We just lost one of our subscribers.
Anyway, big weekend, magic round.
Yes.
Oh, it was magic, wasn't it?
It was
Very magic.
It was magic. And you know what the magic was? The most magical thing of the weekend?
What?
Head high sin bins just seemed to disappear.
Oh, it just disappeared. Do you know why they disappeared?
Andrew John.
Well, hang on. Let's. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe.
Yep.
Watch the video through in the background, even if you're doing the vacuuming or whatever, or in your car.
Leave it
It
on.
helps with the viewer retention rating on our channel.
We really need it.
Helps promote it. Same with Spotify. We're on Spotify. Check us out, Outside Man NRL podcast. Watch it on there. And give us a follow, all the rest of that stuff. And let's get on to Controversy Corner.
Yes,
well,
magic.
I don't have a controversy.
Yeah, well, my controversy was I don't have one either.
this week, but I do want to say that there wasn't, like as I was talking before you cut me off, so rudely.
I had to do the segue.
Was that there was no high tackle send-offs because it was not a crackdown.
But they weren't having a
It
crackdown.
wasn't a
It wasn't
crackdown.
initially, alright?
Ask the NRL, they came out and said it was not a crackdown.
You know who did have a crackdown? Andrew Johns.
He had a
Yeah.
big crack.
He chucked the
does he?
big time.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
All right.
My mind's not.
That's fantastic.
That's
yeah.
not where we were at. But, well, before the controversy, can I say Magic Round is great? I had a great time.
Yeah.
We won a couple of footies, a couple of key rings. We had a great time.
It was a good.
Yeah,
the
great
football was good. Couple of blowout games, which we'll go through in a minute.
The fans near my seats were fantastic. We were getting into each other.
Yeah.
Everyone was having fun. No one was angry, except for their own teams. Most of
the guys in our section were great, except the guys that were sitting next to us, getting up every literally 10 minutes to get
You can't
to
do. Can we make a public service announcement?
Absolutely.
If you're at a game watching footy,
Yes.
your goal there is to watch the footy. Like, I'm going to say limit one trip per half.
Right, this was
Stay in your
like
chair.
20 trips
20.
per half.
Yeah.
No, I'm not exaggerating, alright?
I get that
was.
we were sitting on the end of the row, but still, like, get yourself sorted.
If you wanted to go to Magic Round to drink beer, you're better off going to a pub to
And
drink
watching it on
beer
TV.
than watching it on
Just
TV.
stay up the top. It's close to get to the beer.
Nothing
for
wrong
you.
with having a drink. Have a drink, by all means. Not sponsored. But just, like, go to watch the football. Don't ruin everyone else's experience.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my controversy.
Big. I
Yeah.
love
That'll do.
Yeah.
I second
Yeah.
that.
The other disappointing thing was there was no halftime entertainment. There was the games were really close to each other, which I guess they got to do for scheduling, which it is on when they're televised anyway.
Yeah.
But there was no, like, the atmosphere inside in the general stands. I don't know about the sponsor stands and that, but in the general stands it was pretty.
Yeah.
I've got a theory about that.
Oh.
Because the ground had been replaced on Wednesday or something like that.
Oh,
replaced, because did you notice how before each game the teams didn't come out to do their warm-ups, they did their warm-ups internally. It was to protect the ground, which, might I add, apart from a few bare patches, held up really, really well. So I think that's what the
Except
was.
for Kelly.
Kelly.
Brian Kelly when he tried to kick that ball. There was no ground there for him.
He slipped over.
I'll say if you have a shock, you have a shocker.
Carl, did you say that the entertainment was pretty good on Saturday night?
Yeah, absolutely. The DJ was really good on Saturday night. Sunday night was a bit songs. It was kind of like these aren't really songs that you can sing to. But Saturday night, the whole ground was pumping. We were lucky enough to be upgraded to the Bundaberg Rum stand because we're Cowboys members. They just emailed us randomly and said we're getting upgraded. And that whole section, and from where we could see, everyone was just pumping, getting into the sing-alongs, and the vibe was up. The vibe was great. So can't recommend it anymore.
So Saturday's the go-to day.
Oh no!
You reckon?
No, I think Sunday was good too. But yeah, Saturday. I would say Saturday was vibing. It's not a controversy corner, but it's. I don't have anything to add to controversy corner other than a good thing, not a controversy. The best fans throughout the whole weekend were the Warriors fans, and they versed our cows. They beat us. And they were the loudest by a long shot. They were so good. And so hats off to the Warriors fans.
Yeah.
So the vibe was pumping. Maybe it was because of them. I don't know, but it was.
Yeah.
It was good.
I'd say Friday was good.
Yeah, Friday was good.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There was the game was like right after one another.
Yeah.
Which I assume they got to do so you can get home.
Do you think they should do, because they did 2 games on Friday night, do you think they should do the 3 games Friday, 3 games Saturday, and just 2 on the Sunday?
Where do you fit the Friday game? Because it's a work day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think you could add another one on the Friday.
Yeah, it'd be too early. Unless we move the Labor Day holiday to the Friday.
Yeah, and some of us work harder than you, Matt.
I'm sure there are a lot of people out there.
Not it.
And on that note, let's get into this round.
What was your... do you have a controversy? I'd love to hear it.
That was it.
Oh.
The controversy was there was no controversy.
I think we outdid our controversies like last week. We kind of carried on a little bit.
Look, all in all, the reffing was quite good.
Yeah.
There was a couple of moderate forceful contact with the head that didn't get
moderate force.
Yeah. There was. I must admit though, there were a couple of calls. I think there was one with Docker Clay in the Roosters game. He should have been sin binned.
Ruben Potter should have been sin binned.
Ruben Potter. So it was almost like we went from one end to the spectrum to the other.
If you were going to do a high tackle, that was the weekend to do it.
Yeah. Also,
there was anti-not crackdown.
Also, from where we were sitting, there seemed to be lots of shepherding as well, which seemed to get forgot. Players would come running in behind.
The Cowboys had one of those. He ran into the back of his player, and then went around and then stopped. I'm like, how? I know they've never penalised it before. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at what point is that not?
If you gain an advantage, that's why the player. That's why the player with the ball stops. And he surrenders.
No, these ones would kept playing. The ones that I saw. No.
Yeah, I know
there
what
was
you're
lots
talking
of
about.
offside.
I saw that too, but he didn't make much of an advantage. It was like a couple of metres.
Still an advantage.
If he breaks the line,
it's a rule. It's a rule, or it's not a rule.
Do you want the ref to blow more penalties?
I want a crackdown. I want a crackdown on
NRL. Why is there not a crackdown?
We just finished going on about the ref blowing his whistle too much last week. Now we're trying to get him to blow it more.
I want a crackdown on disruptors.
Got to find a happy medium, I reckon.
Disruptor.
Anyway,
disruptor. It was only against Cronulla.
We'll take
a
quick break, and we'll be back for the round.
Alright, so the first game of the weekend, Sharks versus the Eels.
Cronulla.
28-18.
Yep.
Jason, what do we think?
We think the Sharks are back.
Ooh. Where did they go?
I don't know where they went. No, look.
Oh, the Eels did pretty good.
We didn't drop the ball enough to lose this game. Like we have in the previous weeks, 85% completion is okay.
Pretty good.
I don't think we gave away too many penalties. You
got the sin bin? Or is that Eels? Oh, Shark.
But we won't. That wasn't a legit sin bin, so we'll let that go. Iro was back. I was happy about his performance. He did well. Back from a hamstring and he ran quite a bit, so it was good.
You okay over there, Jim?
But
he's waiting.
What I will say,
I
was a little bit late only because of the people I was coming with.
A little bit.
But I feel like that you guys should be winning by more than 10 points against the team that's coming last.
Yeah, but Eels stepped up though. Moses was back.
They just smashed whoever they smashed.
Tigers last week.
Yeah, like the Tigers. Congratulations.
They didn't
5 games.
We lost to the Tigers, man. All right.
You did quite a few.
That was a controversy because the NRL came back out and said that the charge down, the marker that charged down the field goal attempt was not square and shooting.
It's cute,
I think I said that.
It's
last
cute
week.
to come out and say, "Oh, sorry, we made a mistake."
Sorry.
That wasn't the reason why the Sharks lost. The Sharks lost
They should
because
have
they
won
refused
well
to kick a field goal
Yeah.
for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was last week. We're talking about this
Yeah, we're
week.
talking about this.
I agree with you, but we put 28 points on them, and I think their tries weren't that great.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with that win. Anything on the stats that make
Not
you
really,
think?
just dominating possession, 30 to 25 minutes. And completion rate, like I said, 85% to 78%. And missed tackles, 32 to 30. Sharks missed two
Pretty
more.
even,
so.
really.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad. Like when we see those blowouts of 45, you know.
Nico was the dominant half in this game. Trindle tried to get in the way again, but it was like Nico was everywhere, and look how much better your attack was.
Trindle was trying to have a go at Moses too for a bit there.
Yeah,
They had a bit of a niggle
Well,
going
he
on.
ran into him and then got sin binned.
Yeah, Moses ran into Trindle.
I know.
Yeah,
so
not the
like,
other way around. No, he didn't get sin bin. He got penalised.
Just quickly, do you think that Moses is showing enough
Jesse
form?
got
got
sin bin.
no, they sent him for 10.
Jesse Colwalk.
Oh, he got sent. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
poor fella.
Just
That was a
quickly,
brain snap.
just quickly, Jason, do you think that Mitchell Moses is showing enough form to get picked for New South Wales?
You'd have to.
Until I saw the Penrith game, I would have picked him over Nathan,
Okay.
but not anymore. No.
Yeah.
No, for 6.
Nah, I don't think he. I think it's a Broncos situation. I don't think you can pick two halfbacks.
Yeah.
Someone's got to
It
own the
worked
team.
last year.
For who?
What
Well,
was
they
it?
had Luai.
No, there was a year there when they had Cleary and... No, there wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
No, they had
Luai.
Moses instead of Cleary because he was injured.
The only thing that
I think Luai Cleary's enough.
the only thing that I'll say is, I know this is Origin, but New South Wales played their best footy when Luai and Moses were the halves, and I've never seen Cleary dominate in Origin.
No, but you will. Won't you?
Oh,
That's if he doesn't get injured.
Origin 1.
yeah.
He's
Or
gonna
he just
dominate.
seriously goes and see Mary Flower. Anyway,
Just let them get cocky, because every time they
So-
get cocky, they get beaten.
I hear what you're saying, but I also think the entire Blues team outclassed that Maroons team.
yeah.
And you could have put
Last year.
you could have put Nico Hines in there and they would have won that
They
game.
should have had Nico Hines in there instead of bringing him on 10 minutes before the end and wrecking him.
Anyone, I don't think that wasn't like, oh, Moses won us the game. Our forward pack and
I've
Stephen
switched.
Crichton absolutely terrorised poor Cherry Evans.
I've switched this year too.
Yeah.
I'm going for Blues.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Probably
we can't be friends.
the dud of the
Yeah, we
round.
can. You are
Roosters
boring
v the Dolphins.
yeah.
I want to just quickly point out something before we start talking here, Jed.
Yeah.
Full credit to the Roosters here, because you did something that I don't think you guys have ever done before. You actually played in front of 48,000 people. Normally in your home games you get about 9,000. So for you guys to turn up and not be nervous and not poo the bed, you played in 48,000 people.
We actually average about 20, thank you.
Ooh.
Rent-a crowds.
You got to do what you got to do.
36-26.
But I was impressed with the way that we played. I thought we were a class above, and I don't think that the scoreline proves how dominant we were. I think we fell asleep.
I think the Dolphins are that good. I think they were
They did it to Melbourne, the Dolphins.
coming.
Well, they had the
but
three quick tries in like 10 minutes.
To credit to the Roosters, they lost their halfback
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah,
couple of
so
minutes.
I thought Connor Watson was outstanding. Victor Radley, Robert Toyo is really proven his worth. Now Fuhu White was, he's really improving.
Yeah.
So
Your Union crossover guy?
yeah, Mark Nagowitsky or whatever it is.
Nawanga Nitawaze.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
So
We're
yeah,
not sponsored.
yeah. Anyway, looks like that we're on our way to a 4-peat. So anyway,
4-peat? Try getting the 1-peat first. Nothing really stats-wise to talk about. It was pretty much, what 36-26 stats-wise as well,
Yep.
Yeah, pretty. 48 missed tackles.
48 missed
we just looked
tackles
at that,
for
yeah.
the
Missed
Dolphins, so that's where that is. Penalties
sin
weren't.
bins in this
no
one
sin
either.
bins, hardly any penalties.
Roosters did have 400 more run meters as well, so you know that just showed a bit more.
The Roosters, I don't know what to think of the Roosters. I still think they're a bottom 8 team. No offence, Jed.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
I don't think their forward pack stands up to the good teams. I think that's
Yeah.
where
I reckon-
White's been good, but I don't think once you start
Hold off until Walker's back. Who's the other injured guy?
Walker's on.
Brendan Smith's not back.
Oh, he's not coming back. He's playing.
I mean, are you missing much with Brandon Smith?
No, I miss you though.
Speaking of Rabbitohs versus Knights game. Knights, where have they been? Where has this Knights team been?
Well, no, hang on.
Or is this the origin?
They were
Knights
better.
team?
They were definitely better. But being there watching this live, watching the Bunnies, they were horrible.
So you reckon that the Rabbitohs were? I think
No. I think the Knights. No, I said the Knights were better. Definitely better. They definitely. Ponga looked a lot better. Their halves looked a lot better.
Fletcher Sharp was awesome.
But
He got the hat trick.
Where was he?
Where has he been?
8 weeks?
Well, Origin's coming up.
The first
You know,
one, yeah.
Origin
Well,
guy.
Oh, it's a Newcastle. So I said I was going to tip the Knights last week. I don't remember you guys saying that, but I saw that you all jumped on the bandwagon.
did we?
Did we? I swear I tipped the Rabbits.
Or was it just Matt?
No, I tipped.
No.
I
I
tipped
can't remember what I
Knights.
said on the
I tipped
Yeah.
Knights.
podcast. Leave a comment. Let me know what I said last week.
Anyway.
Because I don't know why we would have laughed at you when they were versing the Bunnies, who have been absolutely.
Well, because we thought the Bunnies were
maybe
okay
we just felt like
last
picking on
week.
you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That happens.
Let's look at possession. It was 51-49 to the Bunnies, and they
To the
still couldn't
Bunnies.
put points on. If we scroll down and have a look at where are we? Missed tackles 49 to the Bunnies, 29 to the Knights.
You
It's
can't win a game.
Here's another one too. Like if you look at the run meters, they're both up around 2,000 run meters, which shows a lot of go forward.
that's pretty good.
Line
Must be a lot
breaks
of
though.
post-contact meters,
Knights
though.
had 11 line breaks to 2,
But it was,
which correlates with the missed
Those
tackles.
missed tackles, yeah.
but
So did you think, Carl, like from one game it showed you enough that Newcastle can win a few more?
No.
well, actually, their draw is Bunnies last week, Titans this week, and they've got someone else who they should roll next week. So I reckon they'll win the next few with a bit of confidence from this one. They are not a top 8 team though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
When they get their forward pack back though,
Who are they missing?
Saifidi,
I thought he was back.
He played there. He was on the weekend.
did he come back already?
I thought.
He has been missing.
I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Saifidi and who's the other
I don't know.
from Raw?
Team
Yeah,
was.
I missed the game.
The two back rows.
Leo Thompson, he's a gun.
No, they were out, and the two back rows, Pierce Paul and.
No, they were back.
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh.
they were missing them, and now they've got
Back
them back.
now.
Yeah.
I think that hooker rotation, he's
They've
back
got
to the side. for
Adam
some
Elliott
reason.
came back as well.
Yeah. So I'm saying this team, Frizzell back in 13,
Yeah, I don't think
is
they
a better
beat
team.
Melbourne or Canberra right now, but I think, yeah, they're definitely a better team with them in there. You're right.
They're on the up.
On the up. All right, let's move to the next game.
Speaking about up, lofty places, Warriors versus Cowboys, two of the top teams in the competition right now. Warriors 30, Cows 26.
Oh, look, to be honest, we were lucky to get the 26. Well,
It
not
was a
lucky.
pretty sharp game. I thought Metcalf, the first probably half hour of the first half, the Warriors were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then they just didn't seem to come out. And then Cows just turned it on in the second half.
Cows
And
have-
nearly took it right to the last minute, really.
Cows have an ability to get on a roll. We've done that against quite a few too. We did it against the Titans. 2 games ago, I can't remember who we versed. We did it against them too. I think it was Raiders or Bunnies. I can't remember. A lot of teams have been getting out to leads against us, and we're hunting them down. That's a great bow to have in your weaponry, but it's not a good thing to do. You can't let a team get to 30 points.
It reminds me of the Sharks Cowboys prelim where it was like 32
try
to
for
30,
try, yeah.
and we're like, well, it was a good game, but neither of these sides are going to
They're
win
not
the
going to
comp
get
now.
final. And 28-12
Gotta get
and up.
that
You can't let a
defence.
team score 28 points in one half footy and
Yeah.
expect to run them down. Even though we scored 5 tries, they scored 5 tries. Goal kicking was the difference at the end. And Murray got that try denied because his foot hit the ground. Otherwise, we probably, I think if that try goes up, we win that. Not just to state the obvious, but I think we had so much momentum. So it's good to see us claw our way back. Like, that's probably the positive for me, to see that when we're getting rubbed out of games, sorry to point this out, Matt, but unlike the Titans, when a team starts coming back or trying to chase down a lead, they don't have the resilience to get there. The Cows have that. That's good, but the issue is we're letting teams get out too fast.
And again, we spoke about this last week, missing the start. You just can't miss the start of a game anymore.
No.
Like, teams are putting on too many points with the 6 agains, and just getting penalties when you're on a roll.
The Warriors are a really, really good team. I don't think they were in any of our top 8.
Oh, actually,
I had them as.
I had them.
Okay.
I'll show you after. I've actually got predicted.
And
those.
it was
I don't remember where I had
It was
them.
the same with the Rays. You guys didn't pick me, and
Jed, I just wanted to point out that there was a team that somewhere down the bottom. I can't remember who it was. But you're talking about the ones you got right, but I can't wait to go over this at the end of the year. Because there was one that you did get wrong, and I can't
Still
wait
got
to
a
bring it up.
long
I just
way
can't
to
think
go.
of who it is at the moment.
Well, he's
One
going
of
to
your
have to
predictions.
think
I
about
might
the
try.
Panthers pretty soon.
Look, Cows only missed 25 tackles in a slightly wet game. I'm actually pretty happy. Pretty happy with that. So, look, it's not panic stations. We've got the Panthers this week who have found a bit of form. So, we need to win this week. It'll be a
It
big
should
game
be a
for
good
us.
game with the Cowboys hurting off a loss against Penrith on a bit of a win. That should be a good game.
Yeah. It'll be. I don't know who to tip in that. I'll have to tip with my heart.
so the next game, Tigers beating the Dragons 34-28.
Yep.
If you want to see some tries, good game.
What I'll say is that probably was it Moses Sully cost the Dragons.
Oh,
Jaden Sewer.
Jaden Sewer.
Poor fella, hey. Oh, he got shot.
watch the highlights.
He
haven't
got
seen it already.
shot as he went over the line.
I feel sorry for him.
Do you know what's worse? Do you know what's worse than him dropping the ball? Not one player tackling Buller.
I just watched him run.
They
Yeah.
watched him pick it up and then run down
straight
the field.
past.
Bye, Buller.
Like,
Have a good try.
that's not a Shane Flanagan coach side.
No, they'll be
Like that
copying
sorta-
that this week.
Gee, the halfback got dropped. I think most of them.
King Tongia played a really good game.
He did alright, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think.
What did you
who
think?
got dropped? Elias will be back.
Yeah. What did you think? Was it a pretty low class game?
Controversially, I will say that I think the Tigers, even though they've won 5 games now, I don't think they've had the hardest run.
No.
They had the Sharks last week, but the Sharks weren't the Sharks last week.
Yeah.
I don't think they've had the toughest run, and I'm not convinced on them yet.
And they missed 42 tackles.
And the
I know
Dragons
they
only
won.
missed 16.
They missed 42 tackles.
Yeah, do that against the Storm, and you're going to have a cricket score put on you.
So they're doing great. Don't get me wrong,
We
Jerome.
need to go
Don't
cricket.
post about it, all right? Which is what you.
And
need
they've
to
won
do.
some games like this where they haven't been the better side.
Yeah.
They definitely were the better side against the Sharks.
Just quickly, we've gone however long it's been into this podcast, and Jed hasn't had one controversial comment like last week. You haven't come out and said something ridiculous like Latrell Mitchell needs to be sacked, or Mitch Moses needs to get dropped, or
Speaking
I'm
about
waiting for it, Jed.
Speaking
I
about
think it's
getting
covered.
dropped and
Uh-oh.
sacking, the next game, Titans versus Dogs. Do we have anything more we want to touch on the previous game?
No.
No. Do you want us to leave for this section? Do you
No, it's fine.
You're good.
Titans, Bulldogs.
You-
Bulldogs ran away with it 38-18. I really thought they were going to put 60 on us. Titans were just a shambles. Both edges are terrible in defence.
Yep.
We only had 18 points because Lofi ran nearly the whole field on a Canterbury error.
And as cool as it was to see him do it, for Suamala-Aui, chip and chasing is probably not in the playbook, is it?
No, but that was brilliant.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be
He
his
shouldn't.
play.
He shouldn't have to do that.
Shouldn't
And
be your
if
play.
they're training for that, I'm all for it. But if he's the captain, right? And he puts in 110%
Absolutely.
every game.
But what it's
But
saying is...
the other guys around him are not
That's
lifting
what
up
I'm.
to
Yeah,
his
exactly
level.
right. That's what I'm saying.
And the drop off is crazy. Like errors, like ball handling errors, and then it leads to points, and they're just not putting in the effort. players getting dropped. David Fafita is in 1.2 million, and he's playing reserve grade.
Not good.
And he had 9 runs for 60 metres in reserve grade, and the reports are that he just looked disinterested. Like, what's going on with this guy? You know, we've got to...
Like...
Billy Slater's decision to drop him from Origin last year just turning out to be a genius decision. Like, Slater saw this.
Yeah, like we did lose Weaver in like the first 5 minutes. So he's out.
But I don't think that would have made a huge effect.
Well,
Bo Firm was great. He was a standout, but he had 2 errors that, you know, drop balls.
Yeah.
because you missed all the kicks, in the last 20, you guys weren't that far away if you got the kicks.
Yeah.
Although you weren't
I don't think he got
anywhere
any,
near their
Oh,
level.
he got 1 in front.
Yeah.
1 of 4.
But yeah,
Because it was only 5 tries to 4, and if you got the kick, you're only 6 points behind.
Yeah.
That could have been...
There was 6 tries to 4.
No, but that was 76 minutes. I'm saying at the 55th minute, it was 5 tries
But
to 4,
our
and you
defence
weren't that
just,
far off.
just killed us.
Yeah, but even then with Brian Kelly with his goal kicking, his percentage would be 55%. Like, it feels like he never practices.
He doesn't need to. He's not our kicker.
Yeah, you still got to have a backup
Yeah,
kicker.
you got to have...
I think
Well, surely...
RCG should have been the kicker. He kicked 1.
RCG, absolutely.
He's 100%, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
I think we have to
turning up, don't
say they're...
Can I also just say,
No.
quickly, it was the second game in 2 weeks where we've played 13 guys for 60 minutes. We had 2 sin bins last week and 2 sin bins this week. You know, like, we can't compete with it. We can't play like that. And then there was a period of play where we had 3 or 4 set restarts in a row, and it just gasses them, and then they're down to 12 players, and they're not feeling the love.
The Brian Kelly one.
That was just stupid.
What's he doing?
I know, that was dumb.
What's doing?
So the rule is when you set a scrum and it breaks, if you're offside, you reset the scrum. But then if you do it again,
Instant sin bin.
He was 9 metres offside.
Easy.
Yeah.
He went so early.
That's what I mean. Like he's
What's he doing?
Who knows?
Des should get in there and just go donk donk on his head, mate.
BK is one of those guys that's rocks or diamonds, and that was his rocks game.
It's all rocks and diamonds.
You know?
It's rocks or silver, not diamonds.
No, he can turn it on.
Can score a try.
Yeah.
Stephen Crichton was amazing. He was quite good in this
He just bugs me with his over the top celebrations.
Yeah.
Like I watch other players celebrate and they don't do half the stuff he does. Like one of the tries where Karaz went up, caught the ball, and he did the whole tap on the head as if to say you dunked on him. It's like, cool man. Like, and just he gets in people's faces. It's like, I fully respect. He's a phenomenal athlete. He is a pro. He's on his way to cementing himself as the superstar league if he's not there already. But a few people don't like him.
Yeah, I can see the reason, but I think it's calculated.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I think it's on purpose. He deliberately gets under people's skin, and he's a big dude.
I respect that.
And I think that's how he leads his team. And he did it for Penrith.
He's good.
I think that's how he...
Is he eligible for... He's played Origin before, hasn't
he?
Yeah.
He'll be there.
All right, Penrith,
I don't follow the
32
boys too much.
over the Broncos, 8.
Can I say, my son told me after the press conference last week, he said, Dad, Cleary's set, he's not losing next week. And I put it on one of the footy chats I'm in, and I'm like, tip them. I didn't tip them. I tipped the Broncos. But Cleary was on.
There was an identical try to the grand final.
Yeah, identical.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like,
you can see him. You can see him side by side. It's like
it's literally meter for meter, like
because I think I pointed out to you
to point in the field. Oh, I saw it straight away, and then when I got the video, I showed you. I'm like, look at this, is identical to what it was.
He had a dream about that try the night before the grand final.
Cleary.
Yeah, he said, I dreamed that Reynolds was there, and I left foot stepped.
Yeah, I think I said it to you at the game. Actually. But yeah, like I thought that
Andrew John said it on my TV.
Because the Broncos had a fair bit of ball early on, and Penrith were able to withstand that pressure, and it just looked like that the Broncos were like a little bit lost in attacking. I'd go to Reynolds or I'd go to
Reynolds didn't have a great game.
They kept doing one-up plays as well. Like I noticed a lot of that, and they'd pass out wide, but then they'd run back into where they got tackled.
I think we're seeing a case of too many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The Bronx between Hunt and Reynolds, they're both looking at it. It's one of those games where like, are you taking this? Are you pulling us out of this? No, you're doing it. No, you're doing it. And I think we're seeing why the Reynolds-Mam combination works so well. Not so much last year, but the year before. Really interested to see what Madge does this week because Mam's back for selection.
I don't think Walters helps that combo either because Walters also has a little mind of his own.
They've gone
well.
down since Walters has started at hooker, so I think Pakes needs to go back to hooker.
He was simpler.
How good was Selm Cobbo at fullback though?
Oh, he was so bad.
He's my gun. He's my gun.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, he was great.
He was.
He said like 340
horrible.
20s. No.
So, being there watching him live, Matt's just disappeared off the camera. Anyway, welcome back, Matt.
He was great.
So are you saying drop Cobbo?
No. I'm rebutting to Matt going how awesome was Cobbo because he was watching him live. There was a point there where a kick came downfield and he went there and he was sort of just dawdling at fullback and then he's like he looked around and said, that's my ball. I better go and get it. And then he started wandering to the ball. That 40-20, one of those 40-20s, it was kind of like he could have got there easily. He didn't. In defence, he was just like, do I have to tag? Was that mine? Oh, sorry, everyone, I missed that. If he plays fullback for Queensland, I'm going to go for Victoria.
It was a bit disjointed.
Is he doing a better job than Reece Walsh, though?
No.
Well, at the moment he is because.
Actually, good call.
Reece didn't play well on the weekend.
Reece had a shocker on the weekend.
So Penrith.
It wasn't his fault they lost the game though.
No. So Penrith levelled on 5 tries, was it? 6 tries.
So as Queenslanders, did Edwards do enough to play Origin?
No.
I heard on the grapevine.
He wasn't that good.
His hemi there might be something wrong with his hemi.
Yeah.
I've heard today.
He pulled up a little bit in the game, but then he kept playing.
Dylan Edwards.
Dylan.
Yeah, no, he didn't strike me as being at his peak.
Okay, so based on current form, forget about who's been there before, how old they are. Based on current form, which Laurie's come out and said, I will pick this team on form.
Yeah.
He has to go Teddy.
Okay.
But the only problem
Now forget Laurie. Form versus combo.
Yeah. Well, who's going to be there? It'll be Cleary and
Yo will be there. That's my thought.
So
Jed wants to say something.
I know.
Yeah.
Go, Jed, speak up.
The only thing that I'll say, like, obviously I love Teddy and stuff like that, but when it comes to Origin, we've seen in the last couple of years for New South Wales, he doesn't pass the ball, and he's cost New South Wales tries.
Teddy.
I, as a Queenslander, am more scared of James Tedesco than what I am of Dylan Edwards, and that should be enough. Not my opinion, but that's what Laurie should be going. If I'm the Queenslanders, who can't teams tackle right now? It's James Tedesco. It's not Dylan Edwards, and Tedesco's might not be as good as Edwards in defence. That's arguable in itself. But as Queenslanders defending fullbacks, I'd be more scared of James Tedesco than Dylan Edwards. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think if Luai gets picked,
They'll have to go Edwards.
I think you have to go Edwards. So if it's Cleary, Yo.
Luai's been average.
Yeah. He did a few good things.
A few.
But I think in Origin time, you do step up. Like Queensland over the years haven't always picked players on form, but you know that they're going to step up. Yeah.
Like Kurt Capewell on the centres. Far out. That game killed me.
I'll go out. I'll go out on a limb and say James Tedesco will be the fullback for the Blues.
Yep. Man of the series.
Oh, wow.
Alright, anything else to add to that game, or shall we?
No, I think my lovely wife wants us to move on from that game as quickly as possible.
Can I just say, quickly, Penrith had 47 missed tackles, and they still come away with a win.
It looked like it was a training run for the Bronx.
Mm.
They didn't, it was like, let's go it up, we'll just try again.
Yeah, so unfortunate, because I did tip Broncos as well. Anyway, last game of the round, and probably arguably
the best.
would we say? If you think it was the best game, or whichever game you think was the best, leave us a comment.
It was
18-20 Storm.
Yeah.
Raiders. There was
Raiders.
a couple of punch-ons on.
it was a bit ferocious there a few times.
The thing that I actually loved about it is that it was a bit old-fashioned in terms of it was just going one end to the other. It wasn't like heaps of tries and stuff like that. It was brutally tough.
Yeah, arm wrestle.
Arm wrestle. So with about 5 minutes to go, it started pouring. And then Matt was just like, oh, should we go? Should we go? You know, I don't think the Raiders are going to score here.
They were down a bit too at that time.
They were down by 6 points. 6 points.
Throwing you under the bus here, Matt.
And then I said, no, we're staying, Matt.
It was a test. I was testing.
And then KO Weeks did a try that only he could score. And
I've got something controversial to add.
Yeah.
So while I was driving home, we were listening to the Triple M coverage. ABC Grandstand coverage because Triple M had the AFL on. And they interviewed Ryan Paps, the ABC afterwards, and he said something that was a little bit controversial. He said, talking about the post-game celebrations and the way Canberra carried on. He said, "Oh yeah, we saw the way that they carried on at the end there, and we've kind of taken a photo of that and going to keep it in our memory bank for next time we play."
What were they doing?
I didn't see it. I was driving, so I was going to ask you guys.
Well, I don't think they just celebrated, and then they were getting photos in front of the fans.
Yeah, in front of the fans.
Yeah, so that's what he said. I guess I didn't see it, so I was wondering.
They probably were carrying on a bit like they'd won the grand final.
And so, the next question from the guy interviewing kind of said like it was a bit spiteful, and Paps came out and said, the game plan was clear that they were out to get under Melbourne's skin, which I think they clearly did.
Oh, they did.
And so I think Paps was just sort of reiterating that they got the better of them. But yeah, it was interesting to hear him. He was really open and honest. He said something about the referees as well. I don't want to say it because I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was a really honest interview. You know how most players get in there and go, oh yeah, full credit to the boys, and we'll try again. He was really raw and open, honest, and I love that from players, especially after a crushing defeat like that. So.
Yeah. So what did we think about was that in Golden Point where Melbourne went to go kick a field goal? And was there something that happened on the ground?
He elbowed the Liero. When he came down with the ball, he got up and he put his arm in the Canberra guy's face.
Yeah.
And that's a penalty every day. And I watching this game on TV, Melbourne did so many grubby, dodgy things in the play the ball over and over. And Cary Grant wasn't even playing. He was the worst. Absolute worst.
Can't wait for him to play.
And they did it over and over. And credit to the ref. He penalised them. And it was good to see them get penalised for something.
How do we feel about games in Golden Point being won by a penalty goal?
Well, if it's a legit penalty, like I was fine with the Sharks one.
I just think it detracts from the fight, like...
I think it's better than a field goal.
Yeah, but...
Really?
Yeah.
But think about how stupid you've got to be to have the ball in front of the post. All you have to do is play it, and the guy kicks a field goal, and you decide this is my opportunity to elbow the dude in the head.
Or
like how stupid do you have to be in that? Well, I don't even think Hazelton meant to, but it just that happened. I don't think that was stupid. I think he was trying to do it, but this one was deliberate stupidity.
And even with that penalty that the Raiders got to kick the penalty goal, there was only like 5 seconds to go in the first part of Golden Point.
Yeah.
So, and there's no guarantee you're going to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Like.
All right. Well, shall we move on to our next segment?
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back in a sec.
Onto the ladder.
Okay, so we've got the doggies in first.
Up the
Raiders
doggies.
second. Waz third.
Up the Waz.
Do you know how many times I heard up the Waz?
Up the Waz.
We were walking out of the stadium. Up the Waz. Up the Waz. We were in our car on the way home. Up the Waz. It was just incredible. Like their fans were everywhere.
My 13. Woo.
Melbourne 13. Starting to sound like Jed. Fourth, Melbourne. Fifth, the Bronx. Sixth, the Sharks.
Yeah,
seventh,
Cronulla.
the Seagulls. Sea Eagles. So,
Seagulls.
Matt, you'll be pleased to know the Tigers are up from 9th into 8th, and the Cows have taken 9th spot, and then no one really cares about anyone else
No.
below that. So
Panthers have jumped 2
Panthers
spots.
have come up off the bottom.
yeah, the Titans
some
have gone down to
people care about
16,
that.
and the Roosters are up to 11th.
So
Ooh.
the Eels are on the bottom and they've had their bye.
For those playing at home, the worst defensive team in the comp is currently the Eels, who have conceded 252, closely followed by the Titans, who have conceded 250, and then closely followed by the Roosters, who have conceded 246.
No. Yeah.
Currently, the best attacking team in the comp is the Raiders with 258 points, and then the Storm and Broncos both on 248 apiece. So.
I'm going to call it. Raiders and Warriors fans, book your grand final tickets.
Okay, you know how he was talking about his predictions? Let's clip that.
Make that one, because that could be a legit thing.
Alright, let's go to tips, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so Thursday night.
Round two.
Oh,
Are we
gee.
ready?
Yes.
Big game of footy.
Bank, Para versus the Dolphins.
Oh.
Eels. I'm going the Eels.
$1.78, they are favourites. How are they favourites?
At home,
Moses back.
Yeah, that didn't help on the weekend.
they'll be hurting.
Yeah, but I don't think they were too far off on the weekend,
They
though.
were so far off.
No.
Jason.
Well, the Dolphins can have a big 20 minutes and score 30 points.
Easy.
Mm.
Seen
So
that.
can
They don't
the Eels
travel
score
real well,
30
though.
points?
Dolphins.
I hate the Dolphins. I'm
Dolphins-
beginning to dislike them.
Oh,
quite a
really?
bit.
I don't
What have they
hate
done
them.
to you?
I-
Yeah,
I
what have they done
don't
to you?
know. I just, look at me, I'm a Dolphin. You know, it's just...
Get your fins
yeah.
up. I've always wanted to be a dolphin.
Mate,
Really? Oh, I don't like Wayne Bennett. I don't like the colour.
he's not even there anymore.
Footy.
Yeah, he's not even there.
That's
I don't
What
like
about
Storm.
Dwayne Bennett? Do you like him?
I don't like Storm
I like
players.
Dwayne
There's too many Storm players.
All right, so
Eels.
Eels.
Cal.
Eels.
Oh,
Just.
universal.
Friday night we got the Knights taking on the Titans. Knights are heavy favourites in this one. It's at McDonald Jones Stadium, 6 p.m. Matto.
This is the game where the Knights could have a big drop off from their success over Magic Round. They're back home in their beds. They're all comfy. They're all sitting pretty. They've got a thing. The Titans are coming in 0-5 last 5 games.
Sounds like the script.
You know, the Titans are going to be working really, really hard this week to fix their
Tino's
edges.
going to be practicing a halfback.
Tino's going to be doing chip and chases. Bo Firma's going to be doing chip and chases. Put your money on Knights.
I was just going to say, I've listened to everything Matt said, and I'm going to tip the Knights.
And who's playing halfback for Titans this week?
Don't know, because old mate's out.
The only thing that I'll say
That's the
about...
fourth halfback.
Rumours are JC is coming back early.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Rumours
gonna be
are today.
The only thing that I'll say about
No, you
Newcastle
already said something like that.
is that how many times have we seen it where like they've had a sold out crowd at their home stadium and they played absolutely chompers.
Shoppers. That's a new one.
I
Shoppers.
think he was going to swear anyway.
Do you want an answer to that question? Because I don't know if I can Google that.
It was it was 3 weeks
Google will be
ago.
like, what's shoppers?
3 weeks ago. Oh, what shoppers? I
Like-
thought you were saying when did the Knights do
Adam
that.
O'Brien.
No, you're right, yeah.
Adam O'Brien, like he needs to go.
Here we go. Here he is.
Not yet. Not
Where's
yet.
this Jed been all
He needs to go. Like the bloke can't coach an under 7s
Okay,
giraffe
hold on,
team.
hold on.
Giraffe?
It's all right to say he's got to go, but the only way you can say that is if you've got a suggestion of someone that can come in and do better.
Jason Taylor, I would have, or even I'd even have the old Titans coach
Justin Holbrook.
Justin Holbrook. I would,
Is he work with the Roosters?
yeah, he's an assistant coach. So get rid of him at the Roosters and put him at Newcastle. Like he deserves a coaching position.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
You wouldn't go to the Knights, would you?
yeah, I know, but I'm just
Oh, you
saying.
got Dylan Brown coming. 1.3.
Oh yeah, big $10 million man.
No, 13 million.
All
Alright.
right. So Cal, Knights, Titans.
I'm going to have to go the Knights here. I think they'll hit a bit of form.
I'll tip Newcastle, but not with any great love.
just bag them out.
Jace.
They're absolutely useless. I'll tip the Knights.
Oh, go on the Knights. I tipped Titans last week. That didn't work out
I'm going
well.
to tip Titans.
Hey, just for the record, my non-tipping of Canberra has continued because I definitely tipped the Storm.
Wow.
So I haven't tipped Canberra in 3 years.
Wow.
Oh, correct.
Well, we'll get to that in the
Well,
second,
Just so you know.
All right, Rabbits and Broncos.
second game Friday night.
Broncos.
Rabbits all the way.
Broncos are heavy
Yeah,
favourites.
get on the Rabbits.
No, I reckon Broncos.
As bad as-
Where's Latrell? Is he suspended
back.
or
He's
out?
back.
He's back.
Oh, this could be a match.
Jai Gray's out.
This could be a good game.
Walker's
Yeah,
on.
I think I'll tip Broncos. They'll, like, yeah.
You got rocks in your head if you tip the Rabbits. The way that they played on the weekend.
I can't tip Rabbitohs.
Yeah, you can't tip
Broncos.
them. Like,
I know the Bronx weren't that much better, but the Bunnies was D grade.
yeah,
The Broncos will be better this
They were
week.
as bad as our OzTag mixed E grade team, which we only won 2 games this season, and
Hey, 2 wins, that's
all
all right.
out of 10.
Yeah.
It's good odds.
You
Thank
could have
yeah,
lost
all right.
17 out of 10.
That 20%
Hey,
right.
in all seriousness,
One we had to fight for though. We had to overturn
the Rabbits cannot play against a decent forward pack. So they are definitely
because
going
they
to
don't have
lose.
one.
I was
Yep.
joking.
So Broncos,
Broncos.
Broncos, unanimous.
Oh, okay.
Game of the round.
This could be
In Canberra.
this could be the grand final,
The
boys.
Dogs versus the Raiders in Bruce Day. I like calling it Bruce Day.
Yeah, Bruce is a good boy.
Get the milk, but Burton's back, but the Doggies have lost who? Preston,
Preston.
who's a pretty
Yeah.
big out for them.
And who else
in
did
the
they
back
get suspended?
Tupanua will still
He's
be
gone.
out.
He's gone for a few
Curran
weeks.
is still out,
He's gone
I
for another
believe.
week or two.
Was there any suspensions from the Raiders last night?
No.
No, the Raiders are favourites, $1.73 to $2.12.
I'll be tipping the Doggies, so...
I'll be tipping the Raiders.
I'll be tipping the Raiders.
I have tipped the Raiders as well.
There you go.
Home field advantage. Jason's tipped the Dogs. So
Second game, Saturday.
I'm doing
10th
that for
of May.
everyone. I'm going to sneakily change it and see what happens.
It's the Dargans versus the Wars.
Do you know, the Dargans could come out for this one.
well, I was going to say
Well-
this would be the one that the Warriors drop.
You'd like to think
It
so,
could be,
because if
hey.
they stay in the locker room, then it'll just be the Wars out there.
Yeah. And the Warriors don't play well in Sydney.
I'll fact check that.
Well, this is in Wollongong, so
Oh, but
in,
like
in full
the-
credit, we don't fact check any of the information we splutter out like that particular gem.
what do they say? Not financial advice or so. What do they
Yeah.
say at the end of?
Not a doctor. I don't know.
We are not
Doctor.
doctors. We're not professionals. This is armchair expert
I
commentary.
I should
think,
say.
yeah, I think the Warriors away from home. I know they've done a good run, but I'm a bit with Jed there. I think the Dragons could come out
Yeah.
I got
at the
Dargans.
Gong and win this one. I think it might be a.
Yeah. I'm going to tip Dragons.
I'll tip Dargans.
Wynn Stadium's pretty windy, eh?
Yeah.
Mm.
It gets cold there.
Windy and cold. I think that'll favour
Oh, it's
the.
got so many dad
I think
jokes
that'll-
in my head.
I
But
think
that's
that's
where
going to
the
favour the
Dragons-
Warriors.
That's
though.
where the Dragons are from.
Well,
It's not like-
New Zealand's windy
Yeah.
and cold, so.
Yeah, but so is Wollongong. So
Oh,
they're gonna be
I
all
don't
right.
know.
Dragons be
I think
scary.
the Warriors might do them. I think the Warriors. Warriors for me.
Have you seen Shrek?
Oh.
Dragons are scary, all right.
Hey, he found himself a missus.
Oh.
All right. Cowboys,
Look down.
Penrith.
Shrek, I'm looking down.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
so-
Yeah, I'm back on. Yeah.
Cowboys, Penrith,
One
Country
of
Bank.
the games of the round.
Hardly
Only what was it
game of the
like
round.
$80 a ticket or something up there in
Yeah, because you want it on the
Townsville.
halfway line, 3 rows out.
Penrith v Cowboys.
Panthers are heavy
Penrith,
favourites.
heavy.
$1.60.
Quite heavy.
They are. Everyone thinks they're back,
Not yet.
but we need to wait and see. I am wary of the Panthers as a Cows fan. I'm going to have to tip with the heart this week, not my head. My head wants to say, oh, I don't know, probably Panthers, but my heart's going to say Cowboys. I'm going to go with that.
If the Cowboys don't show up in the first half, there's no way they come back from this one, is there?
No. With Panthers
Yeah,
are
I'll
one of
tip-
those teams.
Yeah, I think I'll tip Penrith. But, yeah, like, you can play... I'm still not convinced because they played so bad for the first, 5 weeks, essentially, at Penrith. And that, yes, they've had a couple of good wins, but it's hard to keep that up every week.
And the Broncos were bad.
yes, and the
Reynolds
Broncos-
had a shocker.
So, yeah, like...
All right, Cowboys.
Oh, you're going Cows?
Yeah, I'm going
Oh,
Cows.
thanks, Matt.
I'll go Penrith, but, yeah, no, not with great confidence.
No surprise.
I'm going Penrith with confidence.
Okay.
All right.
Sunday, we got the Melbourne Storm against the West Tigers at Amy Park in Melbourne, and I will go out and say
Ooh.
I hope Melbourne puts 73 points on the Tigers, because the Tigers are getting a little bit too big for their boots. And I said earlier, I don't think the Tigers, they've had a pretty good run, and I'm really hoping Melbourne come out. Mind you, Melbourne have mellowed a lot too since the start of the season, but I'm really hoping that Bellamy puts the... can't say that. Bellamy gives them a hard chat this week, and they come out absolutely annihilated.
Yeah, because he was, like, Craig Bellamy was pretty disappointed with the way that they played in the press conference.
I saw a clip that obviously clearly from something else, but he's like, "Do you guys want to be crap? Is that what you want to lose?" Yeah. Very funny.
I think.
Yeah.
You go.
No, you're
You
right. Oh, Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne.
Melbourne. man.
I'm tipping Storm, but I think this could be an upset round. This one. I think this game, Tigers could come out and blast them. Remember was it last season, the season before, Jed actually tipped the Tigers to beat, who were running last at that point.
Yes, I
Came out
remember.
and beat, pretty sure it was Storm, at Amy Park as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, I wouldn't put it past the Tigers to come in and have an absolute blinder.
I'm tipping with my head and not my heart. I'm tipping the Storm.
Tipping Storm.
Last game of the round, Sunday 11th of May, Mother's Day. The Sea Eagles are taking on the Sharks at 4 Pines Park. Sea Eagles are heavy favourites, $1.60 to $2.20. Jace, thoughts?
We already beat Seagulls this year, I think.
Yeah, but at 4 points, I think Manly are going to put a scoreline on you.
They Manly haven't been great at 4 points this year. They've lost 3.
But I just think that, I was really impressed how they played last week, and they had the week off. They didn't have to deal with Magic people. And then, yeah.
So I was going to say last week they didn't play.
I think the week off. I don't know if the week off is good for them.
Well, it'd be good for Turbo, because he's...
Yeah, it'd be good for Turbo.
It was pulled up a bit tight, and then he's
I don't
come back.
understand
why they play
what goes on with him. I don't think they've got a forward pack that can match ours ours being the Sharks, in any stretch of the imagination. And I think, they might score some good tries, but I think from the whole, I think their defence isn't good enough, and our forward pack will just roll straight through them.
Will Kennedy, man of the match.
Mind you, we are missing some more players because Telecon knocked himself out.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
Oh,
Don't worry, guys, I got him.
he
Bang,
played
out.
3 minutes.
I'm going to go the Sea Eagles.
Yes,
I'm
me too.
also tipping Manly at this stage.
Oh, what's going to change your mind then?
Oh, I'll wait till team lists.
Oh, okay.
Jason will probably persuade me when I watch this back in editing 16 times.
He's a pretty confident loser, eh?
Yeah.
Also, just a quick note, because I know there are a lot of people interested in this. Will Kennedy, the GOAT, is still top of the Dally M
By 1
leaderboard.
point.
So, eat your words, Jace. He is
No,
the GOAT.
I never said he wasn't good. I said
I'm
he
pretty
wasn't
sure-
playing good enough.
No, I'm pretty sure I could go through back
He
a few
was
messages
crap.
and I could find some dirt
He
on that.
was crap. And he started playing. Credit to him. It happens, hey.
Yeah.
Players, terrible, and then they decide to have a good... Because he was going to get dropped. It was on, wasn't it? Fired. Kicked out of the club. Only to his credit, Cade Dykes, that next guy, just came off an ACL, ran out on the weekend, and did an MCL.
Oh, really?
Poor fella. He's like 21 or something.
MCL's not as bad though.
We let Metcalf go because we had this dude. That's how good he is.
I know we've got to wrap this up, but just quickly before we go,
Just quickly.
if you've watched this on YouTube to this point right now, the magic code word is ponies. Type it in the comments on YouTube, ponies,
can look at that
and
camera
you've
there,
won
too.
something, okay?
And why do you say that?
We'll be in touch.
Ponies.
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 Ponies. We'll be in touch.
We've got
If
something.
you've made it this far and you're watching on YouTube,
We're not sponsored.
and you don't know us,
Yep.
is that-
Even if you...
Oh, even if you do know us.
First
Alright,
one
done.
in. First one in.
We'll see how
Yeah.
faithful your
Oh,
lovely wife is if she's listening.
she listens to the whole thing, so that's
Oh,
why I said,
here we go.
that's why I said
No,
Chloe.
relatives.
Yeah,
no
no,
Okay,
relatives.
I'll shout
Because
that.
Isaiah watches
You're
the
what?
thing.
I'll shout that person dinner.
Oh,
No. Don't.
Because that'll get awkward.
Erase that.
That becomes a
Don't. You'll have something coming.
Something will be
we will
coming.
let you know.
It might be a Panthers beanie.
Just-
Who knows?
Oh, I wasn't trying to be weird.
It ended up being weird.
Anyway, thanks for looking. We appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing. You watched it this far, share it to your friends. They want to have a laugh. They might even want a dinner.
Jen's
Thanks
always
for
up
that.
for
And have a good life.
See you
Catch up.
guys.